Thank you, Chair, and I fully appreciate your presence this evening in the plenary. Commissioner Oettinger, dear colleagues, I would like to thank all the shadow rapporteurs for the fruitful discussion and work we had on this report. The entry into force of the Treaty of Lisbon is giving the European Union more competence in the field of energy policy. I believe this is an area where, if Member States work together, Europe can ensure secure, cheaper and more efficient energy for its citizens. Together we can minimise the impact of unpredictable events such as the gas disruption Europe underwent last winter. Of course, Europe cannot interfere on gas flow outside its borders or solve such disputes, but what we can do is to ensure that our infrastructure is able to cope with supply shortages or failures and make the market more transparent and efficient. Europe has set this priority very high on its agenda. Last year we adopted the third energy package, which aims to ensure a more competitive and efficient energy market. A regulation on security of gas supply is currently on the table of the Parliament, and tomorrow's vote on the regulation on notification of investments in energy infrastructure will contribute to making the market more transparent and more predictable. In this context, I think it would be a pity to waste the opportunity of this new instrument by not applying the correct legal basis provided by the new Article 194 in the Lisbon Treaty. It is a very important institutional, political and legal point. This regulation is not only a tool for collecting information, but can give an overall picture of the investments in energy infrastructure as a basis for policy making. So, in the event that the Council adopts this regulation on the wrong legal basis, I consider that the Parliament should pursue this matter further at the European Court of Justice, and let me assure you, it will. On the substance now, I have said it before to Mr. Barroso, and I will say it again to you, Commissioner Oettinger. Europe is standing at a turning point, and our priority now should be more than ever to support our companies and create a positive environment for competitiveness. We therefore need strong policies and especially a strong and reliable energy policy. The aim in the end is to ensure secure and cheap energy for both our citizens and our companies. In this perspective, I should hope that gathering data will not become a purpose in itself. We have to make sure that this regulation will not create yet another bureaucratic burden on companies and that confidentiality of commercially sensitive information will be reinforced. On another issue, I can only regret that the EPP and the SD group introduced an amendment to require EU companies to provide data on investments in projects in third countries. I challenge anyone to find in the treaties the legal basis that would allow extraterritoriality in energy policy. Furthermore, I believe we should first start proving that we know what is planned at European level before looking outside our borders. I have also noticed the temptation in this House to include everything in this regulation. I think this is a mistake. For this instrument to be efficient, we must focus on real consistent information and keep in mind to avoid too much bureaucracy and confidentiality issues for both our companies and the Commission. And I have tried to achieve this balance by giving, on the one hand, the opportunity to the Commission to have an overview of the possible future developments, but also, on the other hand, ensuring that this picture is as accurate as possible. We also need some certainty about future investments to ensure proper and solid policy making. I would also need to be reassured, Commissioner Oettinger. I want to avoid that the Commission, after having gathered the data, starts imposing investment plans and ends up telling companies not to invest here but there. However, it should provide solutions and incentives for companies to make short-term, non-profitable investments that may be needed to ensure security of supply. Otherwise, the loopholes will remain. I rest here. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your interventions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Valean.